All right, so I love Netflix, right? I really, really love Netflix. I think they put out a lot of great content. Some of it not so much, but for the most part, the shit's pretty on point. It's pretty good. It's pretty great. And they're always expanding. Even though I'm not happy that they got rid of all the Marvel shows, I understand why it happened. Doesn't mean I'm happy with it, but I get it. They're always putting out new content. And they have a new movie that's coming out Wednesday, April 10th called The Silence. Now, this stars Stanley Tucci and Kieran Shipka from Sabrina, and it's directed by John Leonetti, who did Annabelle, a movie about a doll from the Conjuring movies. Yeah, that one, Annabelle, that was really terrible, but then David F. Sandberg did his best to do a follow-up to it. And, it was still bad, but he did Shazam, and Shazam was really good. So there we go on that one. But they're going to be releasing that Wednesday, April 10th, and they dropped the very first trailer today. So I thought we'd do a breakdown of this young adult novel that's being adapted for Netflix. Let's take a look here at the trailer. So it gives us an idea, so to speak, starting off here. It kind of looks, I mean, again, just take a look at the visual acuity of it, right? So what you see here is busted windows. Everyone looks kind of solemn, at least Stanley Tucci and the woman right there. Very kind of bleak, right? Background, very kind of sepia. Like there's clearly something happened, some kind of devastation has happened. And I mean, it's not just the broken windows are there. It's like literally all over the place. You see Kieran Shipka, you got Miranda Otto, Stanley Tucci, you got the kid. And, they're sitting there kind of looking around like, what's going on? But the thing is, Kieran Shipka is a good actress, but here she looks kind of just woefully uninterested, right? She's like, oh, what's going on? What's happening, Then there's a little bit of blood there on the window from probably whatever hit the window. We're not too sure yet. And then, okay, but here's the thing. With this particular story, she's mute. Or she's deaf, She's deaf. And so she's talking, and I'm wondering if anyone's going to respond to her. I think that's going to be a big part of her part of the film, and I don't quite know how I feel about that. But we've got what appears to be being very quiet. So it kind of comes across like A Quiet Place, but with something else other than the monsters that were in A Quiet Place. Also kind of like Bird Box. Again, Netflix's Bird Box took the internet by storm the other day, and a lot of people out there really, really, really liked it. So obviously, considering how big of a hit that was, they're going to continue to put out these kind of films. So we'll have to wait and see how this one does. But I mean, obviously, Stanley Tucci's looking around. There's whatever birds or creatures are flying above them are the problem. Here the woman starts coughing and everyone's like, you shut up, lady. What are you doing? You're going to get us all killed. Cause I will say, just to be fair, that little bit was kind of intense in the trailer. They do a lot with the trailer in order to make it to be intense, or at least intense feeling. So that's honestly better than what I can say about Annabelle. And not to mention that too, but the same guy also did Mortal Kombat Annihilation from 1997. So that and Annabelle doesn't lead me to believe this is going to be a very good movie. I'm sorry, it just really doesn't. Now, here, well, we got to see a little bit of something. Creatures, I'm trying to get the right shot there, but can you see some creatures that are flying around? There's cities under attack. Michael Rosenbaum looking a lot older now compared to how he was in Smallville from all those years ago. Yeah, he's getting up there. He's getting up there. No, it's not Michael Rosenbaum. Never mind. I got that one totally wrong. That's the dude from Big Fat Greek Wedding. But I mean, look at these creatures here. They're like pterodactyls, bats sort of things. That's what it looks like. And they're attracted to sounds. Obviously, you can see that they're taking out the city right there. And a jet is going in to go investigate. So you're telling me that a jet that's going to be making a lot of noise, and the whole idea is don't make a lot of noise because you're going to die. That jet is going to get tore up. And that actually could be a pretty cool scene. Although when I look at a shot like this, I immediately think Cloverfield, right? I immediately think that there's going to be some gigantic monster tromping through the city sort of thing. And that gives me a little bit of hope for the movie, that if it can instill that kind of fear, and it's not just these weird swirling birds that kind of feel like they're ripped off of Pitch Black, maybe we're in for something good here. But obviously she's talking to somebody right there, or she's reading the dude's lips because she's deaf, right? But he puts his hand over his mouth so she wouldn't be able to read the lips, So Obviously, there's something there. Again, they may actually remove the deaf part of it, but then again, it's called the silence for kind of a multitude of reasons. We got this. So they're in New York, obviously, where this takes place, and there's blood all over the place. There's blood on the on the walls there. But again, I'm really wondering about about if we see what caused the blood. I just feel like like the pattern of impact, is a little bit, I don't know, unnatural for the elevator going, or the escalator going down, and where the blood is. It just kind of feels like it was added in post production, and everything else. There's a subway, people are injured. They're like, oh no, the city's under attack. But I mean, we see here obviously many cars. There's blood on the windows there, but there's handprints. So somebody gets attacked, and that's what's going to be from that. But again, they're trying to show us this concept of a world, of a dystopian world in the short aftermath of what's going on with these particular creatures. And they're talking to each other, even though, again, I mean, I don't know when she became deaf. So if she lost her hearing when she could learn to talk, then she could communicate like that. But if she lost her hearing from a young age, and again, the deaf part only comes from the description of what Netflix sent out. They don't indicate any of that in this. And I also kind of wonder if her interacting like this with her family is going to be more in her own mind. I kind of got that vibe where it's more of her own inner dialogue, more of her inner thoughts, because if the character in the main story is deaf, then it's going to be probably from a first person perspective, or very much her only perspective. So we would then get a lot of her thoughts, and I wonder if they're going to translate that as being her speaking but no one listening, because she can't, they can't communicate properly. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing, although I really have no idea. Again, seeing some cars, police car, other cars there, people abandoning the streets, well, you gotta love those that the street lights still work. That they're still operational. I don't know why. That particular little tidbit kind of stood out to me there. And then, clearly there was that guy right there. Like, this was actually, I'm not gonna lie, this shot was actually really intense in the trailer. And the reason why I say that is because, they got like they're really focusing on minimalistic sound design. But when he cocks the shotgun, they really emphasize that sound. And it's like, ooh, damn, like, like a blast is going to bring a lot of bad people. And this guy is clearly the bad guy. And that right there is that's creepy. I'm not going to lie. That's creepy. So this is the bad guy. This is going to be the religious fanatic, or the fundamentalist, or whatever. He's got his disciples right there, and they probably are going around trying to assimilate people into their community, or they're going to take items, or who knows exactly what they're going to do, but they're obviously the bad guys here. I like that he cocks it and it sounds really hardcore, even though those two shots were not the same shot at all. So here's where these bat things are resting in the daytime on power lines, which what tells me from that is that they're attracted to the hum of the power line. So I would assume that is probably where you're going to find the largest concentrations of these things. Most likely, if they're trying to find a way to destroy them, they're going to have to lure them to a large power reactor or power source of some kind that's going to then be able to be exploded and take them out. That's kind of what I think, if that's going to happen. I don't know, but that's kind of what I take from that one. So again, just a couple shots here. Some will fight the darkness, obviously indicating that the family is going to try to survive the dark. The dark also being a commentary on the duality of man, or the dichotomy of good versus evil in a post-apocalyptic dystopian future or dystopian setting. And then it looks, the CG is okay there. And then you see what appeared to be the one dad fighting off those things before dying is what I think is going to happen there. Or others will be coming, and this is where we get more about the bad guy. And again, just his look and the fact that he's probably not going to be speaking much at all in the movie tells me that the likelihood of him just being able to compel or have this menacingly compelling performance is kind of what I'm excited for. If I'm being honest with you, I mean, as much as I love Stanley Tucci and I like Kiernan Shipka, I think I'm more looking forward to how the bad guy's going to be in this case. I kind of get a little bit of The Last of Us 5, where David, who you meet later on in the game, who becomes kind of like one of the main villains in the game, was so well performed by Nolan North that like he's so vile, so wicked, so crazy that you just, you like seeing him on screen because you get that visceral reaction. And I kind of get that from this guy. I'm not going to lie. I kind of get that from this guy. And then this is what I don't get here. So it's like there's an alarm going off on a cell phone, on an iPhone, up against the window, obviously meant to attract the creatures. But it's taped on the outside of the window, which tells me that this is kind of how the bad guy is going to be able to get these people. It's like they duct tape a phone to the window from the outside with the alarm on, so then it's going to attract all of these creatures, which looks pretty cool, especially right there when it goes after them. And she's gonna fight back. We're gonna see a few of these things. And that's really going to be kind of about it, what to expect from the silence. It drops on, when is that? April 10th is when it comes to Netflix. So that's something to look forward to on that one. Look, at the end of the day, I don't really know how to take a film like this. It could be good or it could be bad. Like, the trailer was cut well. There was some nice intense moments in it, obviously depicting the world around them, obviously depicting what exactly is going to be happening and what to expect from a movie like this. But it also feels like A Quiet Place meets Bird Box, another derivative young adult novel about an outbreak or some type of monster situation with a disabled girl that might actually end up being a Mary Sue that everyone likes. I have no idea. I don't know if she's going to have no flaws outside of not being able to hear and still save the day. They may have removed the deaf part of her character entirely, considering how she's talking to her dad normally without any kind of problems, and we never see anyone speaking to her indicating that she's deaf. They could be hiding that in order to make sure that it comes across as, well, I don't want to say woke, but it could be considered as such. And that's ultimately something to consider when it comes to this particular property. When I look at this movie, I think, yeah, it's probably going to be a decent 2-hour watch, something that when it drops on April 10th, I'll definitely check out. I'll review on 3 Book Reviews. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, so I can finally apply for monetization. Link for that will be in the video description. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Do you guys feel like The Silence is going to be a good movie, a bad movie? Is Netflix taking it to the next level with these kind of horror films? Or are they just scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for whatever DTV movie they can get their hands on that they might be able to market with a large star like Stanley Tucci and Kiernan Shipka? Let me know in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.